Hey, it has been a little while since I've made a little video, and I'm gonna make one right now. Of course, they know that they're watching it. Anyway, look at my head. I got a haircut. So let's just talk about that first. Beth, thank you so much. She helped me get a haircut, which is great because I was looking for just somebody to cut it because, well, a lot of things, but yo, I'm a broke artist right now. If you haven't heard, I put substitute teaching on hold for the month so I can finish the Champions comic because I want to get all of that done because it's going to be showing at Coffea on the 5th of February, which is literally right around the corner. Like, I'm not kidding, it's right there. It's just. And if you can't tell, I'm tired. Just dead, beat, tired. Because I'm not sleeping very well. But it's a good thing. It is. Because I'm not sleeping. Because every day I'm like, oh no, I have stuff to do for the comic and I'm not done yet. So I'm always in this like hurry in my mind to get it done. But we're not compromising quality, I promise you. It's some of the best stuff I've ever made, which is, I suppose, something you would say with any new project you're working on. But it's been fun to look back at old stuff like Little Alice and be like, whoa, I was not with it then. But I've got it going on now. And more exciting news, Lacey, Glacia Barton, has started coloring, and things are looking cool. I've gotten a few samples from her, and I can't wait to see like finished pages because I'm stoked. And speaking of stoked, what's even better is I've got a new patron on Patreon. And since this is where the good fight has gone now, it's a vlog. I'm going to shout out here. Thank you so much, Sharon. Your contribution is amazing. One of my big goals for the year, which I haven't talked about much, is to try to get to $100 a month this year. And we're almost there. We're so close. It's crazy. So, thank you so much. You have no idea what that means to me. To put it in context, I use only my Patreon money for things like art supplies and getting shows to speak English. I use money from Patreon just to get my art supplies and to get stuff like shows going and to get to cons and things like that. So, with the last month's contributions, I was able to buy new Stadler pencils and some things like that, so I'm going to show them to you real quick. Here they are. It's the Stadler lead holder pencil, which is this guy in the middle, and then we've got the sharpener here, and we've got the lead there. And I was using the Pacific Arc, which is Hobby Lobby's brand, which unfortunately I'm going to have to recommend against if any of you start buying supplies like these. The wonderful thing about lead holder pencil, I don't know if you can see it there, but it gets a really fine tip. And that tip is really important to making really clear lines when you're working with your pencils at first. So that's one of the biggest perks. And the thing that does that is this sharpener here. And it gets things very sharp because it runs around a blade as opposed to having the blade run around the pencil. Now, the downside of the Pacific Arc brand that I had been using is that the sharpener, unfortunately, I'm sorry, Hobby Lobby, but it is junk. It's awful. It's the worst thing I've ever used. And one of the nicer things is the pencil lead comes in a nicer case. It's going to be a little sturdier because the Pacific Arc just comes in a little tube. Granted, you'll be saving like $3 or $4 if you buy the whole bundle from Hobby Lobby, but Stadler, this stuff here, look for this brand, is good. This stuff works. It's good. It doesn't fall apart. The pencil's a little lighter and it's easier on your fingers because you got a metal tip here. And that, when you're holding the pencil for 8 to 12 hours like I do, can become really, really rough on your hands. So a lighter pencil with a less evil tip is really going to help out. I'm sorry it's so dark. Yikes. Anywho, that's the stuff you want to look for. Keep your hands on the good stuff, and you're not going to lose much money on it. It's about the same price. So just keep looking for what's good and what works. So that's what I got with my Patreon money. So I'm not just blowing it on like donuts, even though I wish I could, because God, I love donuts. But with the comic right around the corner, I've had some questions like, hey, is there going to be a digital copy? And yeah, there is. The digital copies are going to come out in June, which is a month after the comic launches. And that's so people who are interested in print ones can get those first and basically be early adopters as opposed to just giving you the digital early. But Patreon patrons, if you are a $5 or more, I believe, I haven't quite worked out the finer details, it'll either be $5 or $10 a month patrons, will get digital copies on launch date on May 7th. So keep your inboxes open for that. I am going to be updating all of my rewards again because we're transitioning. We're in a major point in my career where I'm kind of leaving illustration behind, not entirely. I'll still do stuff like that, but it's going to be more about the comics. So I'm going to focus a little more heavily on that. We're going to talk about how your contributions really help. I'm going to talk more about the stuff that you're pitching in to get until it starts to become things like rent. And I will, keep you updated on what you get for free, because right now you get entire access to the Champions comic as it's happening, which I think is really cool. Page 11 goes up tomorrow, and hopefully 12 too, and then we're going to move on to the next character. So, I've been talking forever and ever. Anyway, I got to wrap this up because it's going super duper long. But thanks for tuning in. I know it's been a little while, but I'll try to get one of these every week. It's just been really tough with getting the whole comic situated and done. But thanks for bearing with me, and thank you so much for those of you who are my patrons and anyone who's liking stuff and sharing stuff on Facebook. It means the world. See you later.